My scrappy friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be working on my son's Hawaii Traveler's Notebook. Now you know me, you know I love to incorporate a lot of my older stash with my newer supplies. However, since I've been kind of on a strict budget, the only thing that is new on my workspace is that Studio Calico stamp set, and I'll talk to you more about that here in a minute. But first, let me talk to you about the papers that I'm going to be using. You've seen this 6x6 paper pad from the previous video of the layout that I have done for my son. And the actual 4x8 paper that you see that's going to be the pattern, the background pattern paper. That paper is probably at least 15 years old. It's very slick. I don't even know who the manufacturer is because they didn't put their name on it or their logo or anything that, tells me who they were. And I remember a while ago thinking, why am I keeping this paper? It is ugly, it's got that slick surface that I don't like, that shiny look, and it's something that I will never use. I am so glad I didn't throw it out because that paper is perfect for my son's Traveler's Notebook. It is, like I said, it reminds me of a Hawaiian, tribal tattoo. It's got the leaves on it, it's got the pineapple, and it just works perfectly in this layout. And so after I picked that, I then started shopping my stash for 3 to 4 colors that were also in the that Create paper 6x6 paper pad. Now I'm going to start matting the photos, and I decided to go with brown, and the reason why is there's a lot of white going around the photo that I didn't want to wash it out even more using white cardstock. So I wanted something that's going to contrast, that's going to make that photo pop, and that's why I went with the dark brown pattern paper. Next I'm going to start stamping. Now I don't know who it was. I want to say Mercy Tierra, but she had mentioned that if you stick a foam pad in between the layout that you're doing and on your workspace, that it will give you a real crisp, clean image. It didn't work for me, and it was only on 2 letters. It was only the A and the E, and that is because I think I have a little bit of foam adhesive on my Traveler's Notebook. You know me, I don't like a lot of bulk in my Traveler's Notebook. I try to keep it as flat as possible just because I want it to close easily, and I really like how I've been doing it so far on all 3 of my notebooks. So I don't think I'm ever going to change on that. Now with the title, it's going to be Are You Ready? Are You Ready to Fly? My grammar is not going to be correct. And there's a reason. I'm going to fix it though. And it's not my fault. I didn't pay attention to see what punctuations came in the stamp set. And I just assume that when you have an alphabet stamp set that the punctuations you put in there are going to be the standard ones that you use for any type of sentences, right? Or questions. And in my case, it would be a question. So there was no question mark. It had a hashtag in it. And I do not use hashtags on my layouts. I think I might have ever in my almost 19 years, one time. So I was a little disappointed about that. So, I mean, I love the stamp set. I love the size of it. Would I discourage someone from buying it? No. I definitely think it's a perfect one to have in your stash. I just wish, and see, here I am looking for it. I'm like, where's there a question mark? No, don't tell me there's not one. But I was just, like I said, I was kind of bummed because my title was going to be a question mark, and if I hadn't paid attention to that in the beginning, I would have done a complete different title. Now I came up with a title because my husband and my son are going zip lining, and my daughter could not because she didn't meet the weight requirement. So we stayed back and we went swimming, which you're going to see that spread here pretty soon. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it down the edge of the paper. Now I do have a scrap piece of cardstock underneath that, and that is so it doesn't ink up that cute Amy Tangerine foam pad because I think that thing is adorable. So I don't want it to get dirty. Now I'm going to move on to the layout, and this is when I kind of decided, wait a minute, I used washi tape on the last spread, and as you guys know, I'm coming out with a new series called Crafty Chicks Take On, and this month we are focusing on washi. So I definitely wanted to incorporate more washi. So I wanted to house it, and I decided to go ahead and run it down where the title is and kind of give it the title its own little home. And I love the look of it. And then next I'm going to start matting the top photo with an additional pattern paper in the background. And I'm creating really thin borders just for the fact that this is a traveler's notebook. There's not a whole lot of space. So I really don't want to have the real wide edges. Next, I'm going to be working on the embellishments. Now, I don't have a whole lot of this color combination. I wish I did, but it's just colors that I don't normally gravitate to. However, I'm noticing that I definitely need more variety in my scrapbooking supplies. And so I'm going to use the ones that I have, and that is the 1 inch by inch square from the 6x6 paper pad. I'm going to fussy cut it because it is a pinking circle, and that is only because everything is becoming so square on this layout that I don't want to add an additional square. So this is perfect. It adds a little different shape, some curve to it. And then I'm going to move on to the right hand side. Now I'm going to position that background paper down, and I'm just adhering it. It was a little bit too long, so I had to cut it down, and you are going to see that it's torn up on the top when I reposition it, and that is only because I thought maybe I could just get away with tearing it because it was going over to the next layout. However, that didn't work. I actually had to lift it up and then reposition it back on. Next, I'm just going for more embellishments, and I look on this Sassafras sticker sheet and I find this arrow that was perfect. I'm going to line that up with the car window, and that way the arrow is completely lined up on that line, and it's also dragging your eye from the arrow to my son and my husband. And then I'm also later on going to grab another sticker from that sticker sheet. But now I'm going to focus on layering some papers underneath that photo. And no rhyme or reason as far as which one I picked, other than the fact that I'm just trying to use up those scraps so that way they're not sticking around in my stash. And so I'm just going to layer them, kind of offset the layers. And I'm going to fussy with the brown one because I'm trying to figure out which side I want to angle it off from. And the reason why is there is some white space in the photo on the bottom right hand side and also on the top. And those are the two key parts or two key areas where I could house some embellishments. Now I'm going to decide to go with the top, and the reason why is there's that beautiful view of my son, or behind my son, in the background. And I don't want to cover that up whatsoever. So I decide to grab an asterisk from the sticker sheet. I'm going to cut that in half and layer underneath the photo and place it on the top left-hand side. And then next I'm going to grab this chipboard sticker sheet by Echo Park. Now whenever I'm shopping my stash, I tend to pick at least 3 to 4 colors that I'm going to work with. And this Echo Park chipboard sticker sheet was perfect. I noticed though that I have only used one. Now I'm almost done with that Echo Park collection, and so I'm so glad that I grabbed that out of my stash and found a couple of chipboard pieces that are going to work. Now you're going to see me pick a couple. One is going to say adventure and the other one is going to say boys will be boys, and you're going to watch me remove several layers from the chipboard because, like I said, I'm trying to keep everything as flat as possible in my traveler's notebooks, and I only want just a little bit of dimension that is enough that you know that it's not as flat as the photograph. And then I'm going to add my journaling later, and it's actually going to be positioned right below my son's photograph. And that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this Traveler's Notebook spread, if you don't mind giving me a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate it. And also I have some exciting news. I'm going to be celebrating on August 27th my 3rd year here on YouTube. It has been an exciting, fun journey. I absolutely love it. It's become a hobby within a hobby, and I am so glad to be celebrating it with you guys. So if you haven't done so already, definitely hit that subscribe button because one, I'm going to have one giveaway just on my anniversary, but if I also meet my goal of 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to have a second giveaway, and both of those are going to include a gift card to a scrapbooking store online. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.